You've been told your whole life to take a bath every day. But what if I told you that might be doing more harm than good after 70? Yes, really. Daily bathing might not be the golden rule it used to be, and the reasons behind it will probably surprise you. Here's the truth most people don't talk about. Our bodies change as we age, and the routines we grew up with, they might not be helping us anymore. In fact, some of them can quietly make us feel worse. But here's the good news. With just a few small shifts, you can feel more comfortable, avoid skin issues, and even improve your overall health just by rethinking how often you take a bath. In this video, we're diving into 8 surprising facts that every senior needs to know about bathing after 70. It's not just about hygiene. It's about independence, skin health, balance, and energy. Let's break down the myths, ease your worries, and give you the confidence to make choices that actually fit your body and lifestyle right now. So, let's start with something most people never consider. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and much more delicate. It doesn't produce oils like it used to, and every time you wash with soap, especially the strong, scented kind, you're stripping away what little natural moisture your skin has left. That dryness can cause itching, flaking, and in many cases, painful cracking. And those cracks, they can become little doorways for infections. No one wants that. You might be thinking, but I have to stay clean. Of course, cleanliness is important, but there's a big difference between staying clean and overwashing. Now, here's something that really surprises people. Many dermatologists actually recommend that people over 70 only bathe 2 to 3 times per week unless they're visibly dirty or sweaty. Why? Because bathing too often, especially with hot water and strong soaps, can make you feel worse, not better. It's not laziness, it's wisdom. It's about protecting your skin, your comfort, and your peace of mind. And let's talk about another issue that's hiding in plain sight: bathroom slips and falls. It's one of the most common accidents among older adults. Wet floors, slippery tiles, even bending to wash your feet. All of it adds up to a risky situation. The fewer times you have to step into a wet tub or shower, the less chance you have of taking a tumble. Now, of course, safety bars and non-slip mats can help, and I highly recommend them. But it's also about choosing your moments. If you're not particularly dirty and you're staying indoors that day, maybe it's just not necessary to bathe. A simple sponge bath or a fresh change of clothes might do the trick and save you from a potentially dangerous slip. And then there's the fatigue factor. Let's be honest, bathing is tiring. Getting undressed, adjusting the water, standing or sitting in the shower, drying off afterward, applying lotion, getting dressed again, it can feel like a marathon, especially if your energy is already low. Some days, that effort just doesn't feel worth it. And that's okay. You're not being lazy. You're listening to your body. That kind of self-awareness is powerful. In fact, honoring your limits can actually boost your energy for other things you care about, like getting outside for a walk, doing a puzzle, or spending time with family. Now, maybe you've been told you should bathe every day or you're not clean. But here's the twist. Your body doesn't produce the same amount of sweat or oil at 70 that it did at 30 or 40. In fact, many people over 70 sweat less, which means you don't get dirty in the same way you used to. You're not running around all day chasing kids, working construction, or hitting the gym 5 days a week. Your lifestyle is different, so your hygiene habits can be too. And that's not neglect. That's just being smart. Let's not forget, there's also the issue of soap buildup and hard water. Sounds small, right? But hear me out. Many older homes have hard water, water that's full of minerals like calcium and magnesium. Combine that with frequent soap use, and you got residue building up on your skin, which can lead to irritation, itchiness, and even rashes. Some people notice their skin starts to feel like sandpaper, tight, dry, and uncomfortable. And you know what fixes it? Not more soap, not more baths. Sometimes it's less. A gentle rinse or just a warm cloth with water can be all you need. I get it. Changing habits is hard. You might have bathed every day your entire life, and the idea of scaling back feels odd or even a little gross. But what if I told you that this small change could help you sleep better, feel more comfortable in your clothes, and reduce the need for expensive lotions or doctor visits? Because that's exactly what's happened for so many seniors who've made this adjustment. Think about the freedom of not having to bathe every day. It's one less thing on your list, one less chore to worry about. And if you choose to treat bathing more like a special ritual, lighting a candle, playing soft music, taking your time. It becomes a moment of care instead of a daily obligation. Isn't that a nicer way to treat yourself? Now, if you're someone who loves a daily shower and it truly makes you feel better, go for it. But just know, if your skin feels dry, if bathing feels exhausting, or if your balance is getting shaky in the bathroom, it's okay to pause and reassess. It's okay to say, today, I'll freshen up without a full shower. You're not lowering your standards, you're listening to your body. And that brings us to something that often gets overlooked, the emotional side of bathing. Because for many seniors, especially those living alone or facing mobility challenges, bathing can trigger anxiety or even embarrassment. The fear of slipping, the stress of managing alone, the frustration of reaching all those tricky spots. It builds up, but once you realize you have choices, once you give yourself permission to adjust the rules, you regain a sense of control. That's empowering. That's where confidence starts to grow again. One thing that's often missed in this conversation is how sensitive our sense of temperature becomes after 70. What used to feel like a nice warm shower might now leave your skin red and irritated. And here's the kicker. Hot water can actually dehydrate your skin even faster. You might notice your legs get itchy after a bath or your back feels tight. That's not just dry winter air. That's your skin telling you it needs a break. And let's be honest, most of us were never taught that water by itself can be damaging in excess. It's not just the soaps or the scrubbing. Even plain water, especially if it's hot, strips your skin of its natural barrier, the oils that keep you feeling soft and protected. Over time, that daily exposure wears you down. So what can you do instead? On days you skip the full bath or shower, using a damp washcloth to clean under your arms between skin folds and your feet can keep you feeling fresh without drying you out. Think of it like spot cleaning, quick, gentle, and just as effective. Now, let's talk about something many don't like to admit, privacy. You may be living alone, or you may need help with bathing now. And needing help, especially with something so personal, can be a big emotional hurdle. It can feel like a loss of independence, a reminder of age. But here's the truth. Adjusting your bathing schedule isn't giving up control. It's regaining it. Fewer bath days means fewer uncomfortable situations. It means you can plan for help only when it's truly needed, and it gives you space to maintain dignity on your own terms. And when you do need assistance, it's less frequent, less stressful, and easier to manage. There's also the emotional side of routine. Many people find comfort in their morning shower. It wakes you up, it sets the tone, and for some, it's even a little meditative. But when that same routine starts to feel more like a task, more draining than uplifting, that's a sign it's time for a shift. You're not failing your routine, you're evolving it. And routine should work for you, not the other way around. Maybe your new ritual is a sponge bath with a lavender-scented wipe and a cozy robe, followed by a warm cup of tea. That sounds pretty peaceful, doesn't it? And here's something that will really catch your attention. Overbathing can make body odor worse, not better. I know that sounds crazy, but stay with me. When you wash too often, especially with antibacterial soaps, you disrupt the balance of good bacteria on your skin. Yes, your skin has good bacteria too, and they actually help keep the odor-causing ones in check. When you scrub those helpful bacteria away, it creates space for the smelly ones to multiply. That means the more you wash, the more your body might try to rebalance by sweating more or giving off stronger odors. The irony is wild, right? Cutting back slightly can actually normalize things. Your body finds its own rhythm. You stay clean, but your skin isn't fighting itself all day long. And when you do wash, use gentle, unscented products made for sensitive skin. Your future self will thank you for that. Let's also talk about cost and energy, literal dollars and cents. Warm baths and showers use a lot of water and energy. And if you're on a fixed income, those bills can add up fast. Heating water, using more toiletries, laundering towels more often, it all adds up. Taking fewer baths doesn't just save your skin, it saves your budget. It frees up time and money for things you actually enjoy. Maybe that means more visits with the grandkids, or finally picking up that hobby you've been meaning to try. You might be wondering, but won't people think I'm not clean? And that's fair. We've all been conditioned to associate daily bathing with being well-kept. But here's the thing, true cleanliness isn't about frequency. It's about how you care for your body, not just how often. Clean clothes, trim nails, and neat appearance, these are all things people notice. If you feel fresh, If your skin is healthy and you carry yourself with confidence, no one is going to question how many baths you've taken this week. And honestly, the people worth your time, they don't care. You have nothing to prove by sticking to a rule that no longer works for your life. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the old expectation. Give yourself the same grace you give to a friend or loved one. You deserve that kind of compassion. And now here's a little gem that might change how you view bathing altogether. Bathing less often gives your body a chance to heal. That's right, your skin needs time to rebuild its protective layers. When you constantly strip it down with soap and water, especially if you're already dealing with skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, or simple dryness, you're stopping that healing process before it even begins. Giving your skin a couple days off can help it rebuild naturally, and that's when you'll start to feel that softness and comfort coming back. This doesn't mean giving up hygiene. It means redefining it. Being clean doesn't mean being scrub raw. It means being intentional. It means understanding your body's new rhythm and working with it, not against it. Maybe you keep a warm washcloth by your bedside. Maybe you start your day with a fresh face rinse and your favorite moisturizer instead of shower. Maybe your clean now comes with more peace, less pressure, and a lot more self-respect. And the best part? You're not alone in this. More and more seniors are rethinking their bathing routines, choosing comfort and safety over outdated habits. You're part of a growing movement of wise folks who are learning to care for their bodies in a new season of life. That's something to be proud of. Sometimes the biggest shift we can make is not physical, it's mental. And when it comes to something as personal as bathing, that shift can feel surprisingly emotional. Maybe it brings up memories of younger days when your body moved faster, when you didn't have to think twice about stepping into a tub or reaching for your back. Maybe it even reminds you of times when you felt more put together. But here's something we often forget. Self-care doesn't have to look the way it used to in order to still matter. In fact, adjusting your routine to meet your current needs is one of the most powerful ways to care for yourself. Now let's talk about routines and brain health. Yes, bathing even touches that part of our wellness. There's growing evidence that overexerting ourselves with daily tasks, especially ones that take physical and mental effort, can contribute to mental fatigue. Think about it. Bathing involves balance, coordination, heat regulation, timing, decision-making. It's not just turning on a faucet and calling it a day. For someone over 70, especially if you're managing memory changes or early signs of cognitive decline, bathing can feel overwhelming. Scaling back doesn't just protect your body, it gives your mind room to breathe. And when your mind isn't overloaded, you stay sharper, calmer, and more in control throughout the rest of your day. There's also a link between bathing frequency and inflammation. Most people don't realize this, but hot water can actually trigger inflammation in people with arthritis or joint pain. You might notice that after a long, hot shower, your knees feel stiffer or your hands more swollen. That's not just coincidence. It's your body reacting to heat and overuse. And while a warm soak in a tub can feel soothing from time to time, doing it every day may be making those flare-ups worse. Alternating with sponge baths, cooler showers, or simply bathing less frequently can be a huge relief, both for your joints and for your overall mobility. One of the most eye-opening discoveries in recent health research is how the skin acts as a messenger to the rest of the body. When your skin is irritated, dry, or inflamed from frequent washing, it sends stress signals to your immune system. Your body thinks there's a threat even when there isn't, and that triggers an internal response, raising your cortisol levels, increasing your inflammation, even affecting your sleep. It's wild how something so simple can have such a domino effect. But the good news? It works the other way, too. When you cut back, when you give your skin a break, your body relaxes. Your immune system isn't on high alert. You sleep better, you heal better, and all of that starts from giving yourself permission to slow down. Let's also take a moment to talk about the role of caregiving, whether you're the one receiving help or the one providing it. Bathing is one of the most intimate and sometimes stressful parts of caregiving. If you're a caregiver watching this, know this. Encouraging your loved one to bathe less often isn't neglect. It's thoughtful, it's compassionate. It reduces stress. It helps you focus on the moments that matter. And if you're someone who needs help bathing but you hate asking, this might ease that burden. Fewer bath days mean fewer awkward requests, fewer uncomfortable setups, and more dignity all around. And now for something no one likes to bring up, but we're going there anyway, the fear of falling. Even with safety bars, shower seats, and all the right equipment, there's still an underlying worry that lives in the back of your mind. Will I lose my balance today? Will I slip when I'm reaching for the towel? That fear doesn't just go away, and it can make bathing feel like a chore rather than a refresh. And the stress from that fear, it lingers. It tightens your muscles, tenses your breathing, and sometimes leads you to skip bathing altogether. Not out of laziness, but out of silent anxiety. That's no way to live. Bathing less often, and doing so with intention, safety, and a plan helps rebuild that confidence. It turns bathing into something you choose rather than something you have to survive. And when you approach on your own terms, you get to feel proud again, not worried. Now, don't misunderstand, none of this is about giving up on hygiene or letting yourself go. It's quite the opposite. It's about redefining what it means to be well-groomed, clean, and cared for in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Maybe it's trading daily showers for soft cleansing wipes. Maybe it's using a handheld showerhead while seated comfortably. Maybe it's cutting your bath schedule in half and doubling your comfort. Whatever your approach, it should work for you, not against you. There's something powerful about taking ownership of your routine, not doing what everyone else expects, not following rules that were made for someone half your age, but finding what fits your body, your energy, your lifestyle today. That's where real wellness begins. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present with yourself and recognizing that sometimes less really is more. And if you're someone who worries, what if I skip a day and don't feel fresh? There are so many easy solutions. Natural deodorants, fresh cotton clothing, foot soaks, a splash of rose water on the face, a cool cloth on the back and neck. These small, sensory experiences can keep you feeling refreshed and vibrant without ever turning on the faucet. It's about creating moments of care, not burdens of routine. Even your skin will start to thank you. Less irritation, fewer rashes, a smoother texture. That glow you thought had disappeared? It might just return when you give your skin the break it's been craving. You'll notice your lotion works better. Your clothes feel more comfortable. And maybe best of all, your sense of self-worth gently starts to climb. Because caring for yourself isn't about checking boxes. It's about showing up with intention, kindness, and the wisdom to know when to step back. Sometimes, doing less is the most loving thing you can do for yourself, especially when it comes to routines that were once helpful, but now just leave you feeling tired, dry, or unsteady. And maybe you're just now realizing that this isn't about skipping self-care. It's about redefining it. That shift in mindset might be the most important takeaway from all of this. Now, let's look at one final fact that might surprise you. Body odor doesn't come from skipping baths. It comes from bacteria that build up in warm, damp areas of the body. And guess what? You can manage that without stepping into a tub every single day. A quick wipe with a warm cloth under your arms, between skin folds, around your feet, and your private areas can go a long way. These simple habits don't just work. They're often better for your skin and much easier on your body. And if you're someone who enjoys pampering yourself now and then, consider this. When bathing becomes less frequent, each bath becomes more special. It turns into a soothing ritual rather than a chore. You light a candle, play a little music, maybe add a few drops of essential oil to the water. Suddenly, it's not just about getting clean. It's about connecting with yourself, about slowing down and honoring where you are in life. That's what real wellness looks like. Intentional, joyful, and gentle. Think of it this way. The goal isn't to have the same routine you did at 40. The goal is to have a routine that supports the you that exists right now. Maybe that means bathing every third day. Maybe it means bathing once or twice a week, with a few touch-ups in between. Maybe it means using a soft body wipe, or even scheduling your baths around your energy levels, your plans, or your comfort. The beauty is you get to decide, and that freedom is not a step down. It's a step into a new kind of independence. One where you aren't chained to old habits, just because that's what people say you should do. One where you trust yourself, listen to your body, and treat it with the same compassion you'd give someone you love. Because honestly, you deserve that kind of care. If you've been feeling burned out from the routine, frustrated by how your body responds to hot water or soaps, or just worried about safety, now is the perfect time to rewrite the rules. It doesn't take a big, dramatic change, just a little shift. One less bath this week, one more moment of peace, one act of kindness toward yourself. And if you're still worried about what others will think, remember this: the people who truly matter care more about your well-being than how many times you stepped into the shower this week. They notice your joy, your calm, your presence, not the scent of your shampoo. When you feel good, when you're rested and content, people around you feel that energy. That's what makes you radiant, not a bar of soap. And let's be real, aging doesn't mean giving up on life. It means getting smarter about how you live it. It means making room for what matters and letting go of what no longer serves you. If fewer baths mean fewer falls, more energy, and healthier skin, then that's not cutting corners. That's making progress. You've earned the right to do things differently. You've earned the right to say, this is what works for me now. Whether that means bathing twice a week or once every few days, with little freshen-ups in between. Good for you. That's a sign of someone who's tuned in, who's evolving with grace, and who understands that health is personal, not one size fits all. So if you're sitting there thinking, maybe it's time I stop feeling bad about this, you're absolutely right. There's no gold medal for overdoing it. But there's peace, comfort, and confidence in giving your body what it actually needs, not what a magazine article or some outdated advice told you it should want. And if you live with a partner or you're helping care for a parent or loved one, talk about it. Open up the conversation. Say, hey, maybe we don't need to do this every day. Maybe there's a better way that feels good for both of us. You'd be surprised how freeing that little moment of honesty can be, because chances are they've been thinking the same thing. Now, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with something important. Your worth, your dignity, your well-being. None of it is tied to how many baths you take in a week. You're not clean or unclean based on a number. You are human, you're aging, and you're navigating life with wisdom and courage every single day. That deserves respect. That deserves kindness. That deserves a routine that supports you, not wears you down. So take a breath. Let go of the pressure. Give yourself the freedom to adjust. And remember, small changes can make a big difference in how you feel, how you move, and how you show up in the world. If this video made you feel seen, or if it helped lift a little weight off your shoulders, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Share your experience, what works for you, what you let go of, and how you're taking better care of yourself these days. You never know who you might inspire just by being open. And if you found this helpful, go ahead and give this video a like. It really helps more people see it. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, real-life advice that's actually made for you, not just for younger folks or people who've never walked in your shoes. Because here, we believe that every chapter of life deserves to be lived with clarity, confidence, and care. Here's to living your best life at any age.